We here at Mayhem Media
understand the trials and tribulations of life.
No matter how hard life can get.
Suicide is never the answer.
There's more assistance available today than ever before.
If you or a loved one are suffering from suicidal thoughts, please don't try and take it on alone.
Call or text 988 if you live in the U.S.
Or if you're in Great Britain, call 116123 or text 85258.
The world is a better place with you in it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to After the Dragon. This is our season 2 finale. We actually didn't do an episode last week, so we're going to talk a little bit about episode 7 as well as episode 8 in this episode that we're shooting now. I just said that word way too many times. JediTheorist is back joining me, and it's great to have him back. How are you doing, sir? We cannot hear you. What's funny is we just were talking. Okay, good.
All right. How's it going, everybody? Glad to be here. Quick question.
Yeah.
Isn't it season 3?
So it is. It's season 3 finale. That just shows you what kind of day I've had.
Hey, man, it's all right.
I actually can't change it on anything. So it's going to be called the season 2 finale. Unfortunately, I'll be reposting it, though, because obviously people know on live episodes, Facebook takes them down. So this is the season 3 finale. Thank you, JediTheorist, for informing me of that, because I definitely forgot where we were in it. So, and it's sitting right in front of me. I still have it up on the screen right now. So that's what's... All right, so the end of season 3, we're definitely inside the Dance of the Dragons. Things are heating up. Where do you want to start? I mean, we got everything from Rhaenyra, from Aegon finding Sunfire, which happened in episode 7. The Lannisters still being alive. Rhaenyra claiming that she is the prince that was promised.
Yep.
Ulf going rogue.
Yeah.
Hugh losing the rest of his family. There's so much happened in the season, in the last 2 episodes of the season. Where do you want to start?
I was literally about to say, like, I was rewatching it, and I was just in absolute awe again. I'm just like, where do we start? Like,
Daemon loses a sword fight. I mean, he's alive, he survives it, but he loses a sword fight. Like what?
What's his
name?
What
is happening?
I call him Chibs. I can't think of his name.
Oh man, I love that you call him Chibs. We're gonna do some. I've done some Sons of Anarchy episodes. We might do some more though if you're a Sons of Anarchy fan.
But oh man, I was like, oh my goodness, Chibs loses his arm, bro. And then but I will say he definitely, absolutely, 100% got the last laugh.
Yes. Oh yeah. He gave he gave Lord Ormond a proper, we're going to not say the other word, but a proper
what he said.
What he said, because we've actually been trying to keep our content a little bit more on the PG side. We've actually had some people reach out to us saying that they watch some of the episodes that we do with their kids. So we're going to try and cut back on some of the use of bad language and stuff so that way children can tune into episodes if they want, or at least younger kids, at least not like children, but at least
Right.
kids who shouldn't be hearing what we
Right.
say. But yeah, so yeah, he got
Yeah.
he got it bad. And hold on, I was gonna look up the guy's name, but Chibs, go watch Sons of Anarchy. Anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about. But he loses the arm in the fight, but still wins it. And of course, all the Northerners said they came to die for the Dragon Queen. So they weren't. None of them were planning.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny whenever they were out actually planning on how to take this over, and then he was like, "Okay, open gate first, then die. All right, let's go." I was like,
yeah. Okay, open gate first, then we can die. Gotcha.
Yeah, that was a good part. I did like that. That I liked.
Sir Roderick Dustin is the House of the Dragon character that Tommy Flanagan plays, who is also from Sons of Anarchy. So Sir Roderick Dustin, yeah. And he got the end, and the Northerners, they were a temporary piece on the board. They were going to fight until they were gone. And in order to take Tumbleton, what I find it's almost, I mean, of course, it's good that Daemon wasn't the one that burned the city, right?
Right.
And I'm going to shift to Ulf the White going rogue now. But Daemon didn't want Rhaenyra, Daemon, they don't want to burn cities with their dragons. They lost a lot of their men. That was not a victory. Even though the Hightowers lost Tumbleton, it was not a victory for the other side. Okay. Yeah. Ulf made sure that it was not a victory for either side, firebombing with his dragon both sides of the battlefield and just basically going straight rogue, not even just like a traitor, just going rogue against everybody.
Well, I think it's because he has that little bit of status now, and he obviously has a major dragon, and I just feel like he's just tired of being everybody's punching bag. I think he's going to go off and be his own thing and go out and pillage and plunder for his own gain.
Maybe. I can see him taking over a small town or something with his dragon and being, named the lord of whatever small village or town that he goes to. I could absolutely see that happening. Either way, he's going to be running for his life. It'll only be a temporary stop because they'll be hunting him for sure. For sure, they'll be hunting.
Especially Daemon.
Yeah, Daemon. Hold up. Before we talk about Daemon, I want to just say about Ulf the White. He burns both sides. He firebombs the Daemon's army, and then of course goes through the city and firebombs the city just indiscriminately, I believe.
Right.
But Hugh, before we move on, Hugh ends up there. He goes inside. He's looking for his wife. Is it just me, or do you think there's a chance maybe she's not gone? Maybe she's just hurt? I mean, I get the way he cried out and stuff, but if she's really gone, then I would like to call foul on the producers and the director of this episode. She was not there.
I agree.
Bleeding. She's not bleeding.
Nothing.
There's no wounds.
And I will add to the fact that shot was way too short.
Yeah,
way too short. It was just a clip in. Oh, look what happened. Clip out. Yeah, but I don't think it's really what happened. I think that they clipped it out so quick because it's going to come back to that. And I assume the first or second episode of the next season. And she's going to, I think she's alive.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I want to say that was not the only editing mistake we had in this. I was just commenting to my mom while I was watching the episode that I think this is, in terms of story and what they did in the episode, this was one of the best episodes, but they had a couple of huge production issues in this episode. Yeah. I don't know if you were able to spot, other than Hugh, which was a weird scene to begin with.
Yeah,
that scene, that whole scene didn't make any sense. And if she is really gone, then I totally fault the director, the producers, the makeup people, whoever, for not like giving us something more. Like she's just laying there and she's dead. There's nothing. I mean,
Yeah,
unless she was strangled, that doesn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah,
So
maybe,
that I didn't like.
Maybe
and now,
it was something that they were like, and let's maybe. I see what you're saying. If it was the fact that they were like, okay, well, she's not really dead, so we're really not going to pay much detail to her. Just lay there and just act like you're dead or asleep or whatever. We'll just kind of quick cut away from it, you know.
that would damage the Game of Thrones universe, right? The whole point is we see brutal deaths and we see people die, but that's because we know they're gone.
Yeah,
like they're not coming back. Anybody who's just disappeared in Game of Thrones or in House of the Dragon, with the exception of
Corlys.
Laenor.
Corlys disappeared, and everybody was like, "Oh my goodness, is he dead or not?" But I like the way that they did that.
Yeah, and Laenor while the series isn't over yet, Laenor could still make a surprise appearance just because he disappeared. We know that he's not dead, so I'm hoping we actually get to see him or get his story resolved. But that's what I'm saying. We don't get to if someone is presumed dead, we can't go off that. Not in the Game of Thrones universe, because it's been proven that some people who we think are gone are not actually gone, because we never actually saw them be killed, so they're not gone. So we didn't see her actually die. So I'm not buying that. It was also a weird scene. Did you notice how in many of the scenes, the overhead of the city scenes and the dragons flying around, how often it showed that there was a dragon rider and then it would cut immediately to, like, for example, they showed Caraxes at the end going after Ulf and his dragon, right?
Right.
Okay. And Hugh, I can't remember Hugh Hammer's dragon name right off the top of my head, but Caraxes and Hugh Hammer's dragon were going after Ulf the White, right? In that shot, it appears maybe it's just the saddles, maybe it just makes it look like there's someone sitting on it. But in my opinion, on more than one shot, the scene, it looked like someone was sitting in the saddle of a dragon who was like circling the city or doing something, and then they would immediately cut to Daemon in the city, going into that sword fight. So that I don't know if, like I said, I suppose it could have been the saddles maybe that I saw wrong.
Right.
But to me, it looked like there were Pete riders in both of those saddles.
Yeah, and that makes no sense. Yeah, because nobody else would be able to ride the dragon.
And exactly, no one else would be able to ride the dragon. And if they're in the city, Hugh's standing over his wife and Daemon's getting his butt kicked. How is there someone that we can't go to him just flying Caraxes then too? So I'm not sure about that. I'll rewatch it again and
yeah, I'm gonna have to really look at that because I didn't really pick up on that.
Yeah, look at that next time, because that's what I noticed. That was the first thing I noticed, with the dragons flying around with no riders. And I get that they have a saddle, that sits on the back of them, like a harness and stuff. I get that, but to me, it looks like a rider to me that is sitting on all these dragons when there shouldn't be, because they're in the city still.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of production errors in this episode, but overall, I think the episode was one of the best episodes of the whole series so far. I think.
It was, like I said, it was very, very captivating. Like I said, I went back and before we started the stream. I went back and rewatched it because I wanted to get like a little refresh on it, and I'm just sitting here like, and I'm still like, oh, like when stuff's happening, I'm hyped.
Absolutely, I was excited the second time too when Sir Roderick finished off Lord Ormond.
Yeah, that was
we saw
so satisfying.
Let's talk about Daemon for a minute. Daemon gets his butt excuse me. Daemon gets his butt kicked. He loses this battle. We can agree to that, right?
Yeah.
If the dragon, if Ulf hadn't been raining fire down upon the city and they got separated, neither one of them died. I thought the big guy was going to get taken down by the rubble coming down from the dragons, but it didn't appear that he died either.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought Daemon got kind of up underneath it. I was like, no.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It was, dude. It was scary. I thought for sure. I was like, I don't think this is how he. Spoiler alert! I don't think this is how, because I know things
Right.
from the books, but they're so far off book. I was like, no, he can't. Like, they're not going to.
Look, there's no way.
Here, but he does
Yeah.
get his butt kicked. He
Yeah.
loses that sword fight. He loses that battle.
Yeah.
And that was shocking to me. I could not believe he was getting his ass kicked for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I will say that I'm gonna bring back up I feel like that scene where Corliss, got him back up. Got him back up to his feet.
Oh, when he went blood, when he was like, what did I want to call that? I thought it's almost like Damon was blood drunk after that battle, after he almost lost that battle. Like he was in frenzy mode. Like he didn't realize, like I think he would have gone on a rampage and just kept killing people. I don't think he was there. Like, I think he was disassociated at that point.
I agree with that, and about him being like disassociated with things going around him, but I feel like it was more of Corliss gets him up and like kind of like just like grabs him like, hey, the city's lost, dude.
Yeah,
we've got to go. And Damon is just like looking at him like,
yeah, what did you just say to me?
No, see, I didn't get that. I thought
really,
I didn't get that. I got was he's looking at Corliss like, what just happened? We had this. What happened?
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I guess that could be right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, think about it. I mean,
you might be right. Maybe that disassociation is him, like, because I think he knows something went wrong.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, he's getting his butt kicked, and then all of a sudden, Dragger from fire is being rained down on him. So it might be like oh my goodness, what is happening now? I just got my head bashed around, and all of a sudden, there's dragon fire raining down. Maybe. That's I mean, I'm gonna have to watch that episode again yet because it was that good. Like, I can honestly, I've watched through the House of the Dragon pretty much a couple of times. I've seen season 1 probably 5 or 6 times already. So, because every time the new season comes out, I'll rewatch it, and then because we do the After the Dragon show, so I rewatch episodes when I at least put them on in the background. And I'm gonna have to rewatch it again to see that, because I thought, to me, he was almost like war, like he was like, I don't want to say like war drunk, like he was so in the battle he didn't know, like all he could do was fight. And I think you're right though. Lord Corliss pulled him out of whatever it was that was going on to him. Lord Corliss pulled him out, but I don't think it was the city that was lost that like snapped him back. I think it was when he said Ulf turned.
Yeah,
I think that's what Ulf turned. The city's burning. I think that to me was what made Damon go, like, in his eyes, it kind of looked like, oh, he's like, what?
Yeah,
I need to get to my dragon.
Right.
Like, that to me was what that look was like. What are you saying? Okay, I need to get to my dragon.
Right.
So, but that was also quite the scene. Also, you almost go back. Do you think maybe Damon should have accepted the peace terms? But Rhaenyra would have never accepted him, right? Even Damon would have been smart enough and savvy enough to accept that. He also knew Rhaenyra was never going to accept that, right?
No, because so if we're speaking Rhaenyra, I just think that she's in. I think she's 100% not on the fence no more. I think she's in the seat. I'm queen. This is how it's going to be. She's in this deep already. So I mean, even if she wanted to be like, oh my goodness, I've got maybe there's another path. There's not. She's too far into it. There's so much that's already happened that can't be taken back, that can't be walked back, nothing. And I also think that she knows that. And I know I'm jumping a little ahead, but the episode ends with Rhaenyra looking out over the city and shutting the doors and
the windows too. But why is she there? That's the other thing. Remember, because that's the part. No, Helena. That's why she's in that room to begin with.
Right. Because Helena
jumps out the window.
Yes.
And so she's off the board, taking her dragon in some manner off the board as well. I want to ask you this. Do you think if Rhaenyra, because listen, Aegon and Aemond were the problem. They were never going to yield to Rhaenyra.
Right.
We knew that. Once Aegon was down and Aemond disappeared, do you think that if she would have just tried to work with Helena and reached out to Darren, they're her sister and brother, what if they were okay with her letting her be the ruler? What if they were okay with that? Because honestly, Helena and Darren are two of the most passive Targaryens we've seen in the series.
Yeah.
Darren grew up under the Hightowers, under Lord Ormond. I mean, he grew up with Gwaine, who was obviously the one who tried to teach him. You know, Ormond was obviously a firm hand, in dealing with Darren. But Darren seems to me, he's got a little bit of he wants to be brave, but I don't know that he is. So without, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think if after Aegon fell and Aemon disappeared, do you think if she would have tried to sue for peace and got Darren and Helena on her side with Alicent, that it would have worked out? Because I don't think
maybe
I don't think Helena or Darren would have challenged or tried to challenge for the crown. I think they would have been content being a princess and prince. I don't think that they would have. I think they would have helped her. I think she could have made allies out of them.
But when though? Like when? Like what? Where in the timeline of this season do you think it would have been in an appropriate time to do that? Because it's definitely not now.
Disappears. Listen, they had when they had Tumbleton. We had an episode or two of Tumbleton being under rule of the Hightowers. So she could have sent ravens out and demanded an audience with Darren, and tried that way. I mean, they have more dragons. Darren's dragon's a little, just a little wormling yet. I mean, he can fly. He's a bigger dragon, but not like in terms of the other dragons that are on the board. Darren's dragon is nowhere close. So, that's what I'm saying. I think she could have had Helena and Darren as allies instead of as adversaries. Aegon and Aemond were really her only adversaries. Once they were gone, I think she could have gotten the other two on her side. Helena didn't even want any part of it. She wanted to just go be free and have a farm. That's what I'm saying. Helena didn't. What? Helena's not going to challenge you, and she's also not going to be manipulated. Rhaenyra, in my opinion, especially through this season, has made every mistake she can. Murphy's Law is in effect for Rhaenyra. But I think it's her own arrogance that's making her do it. She lost Lord Corlys because she wouldn't legitimize his sons. Yes, he got captured, which was his own dumb mistake, but he wasn't going to stay and serve her after she dissed him.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even not Lena, the other girl, the one that's the actual dragon rider, she calls Rhaenyra out on it in episode 8. Do you remember that? Yeah. Almost similar to what Lord Corlys did. I got Lord Corlys and Rhaenyra conversation vibes when Lena did that. I thought, I was like, holy cow, she's having the same conversation with her that she had with Lord Corlys. Basically. And I think they're right. She wants people's support, but she doesn't want to reward that support.
I can see that. Yeah.
You remember, I don't know if you remember, but through season 2, I was on House Black. I've been on Team Black through most of this series. And towards the end of season 3 is the only time. That's the first time when I've been like, you know what? I don't think I like either of them now. I think after episode 8 with Rhaenyra, the conversation she had with Lord Corlys earlier in the season, the conversation she had in episode 8 with Lena, the conversation, the whole she is the prince that was promised.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, she is so hungry to be legitimized and recognized by the people that she's not even realizing that when you're the ruler, you just rule. Any ruler is going to be hated by the people.
Yeah.
You're not ever going to be liked by everyone. Do you think Aegon the Conqueror, after he brought all 6 kings, that there weren't plots and things afoot?
Yeah.
Like, to think that is just is ignorance. So I'm not really on her side. The whole prince that was promised thing, that's what turned me off to her. When she stood out there and said she was the prince that was promised and just gave away, like, shouted out this whole prophecy, I was like, you really, I mean, I think she really does think that.
Yeah. Oh, she does.
And I can't, and also, I don't know if this is, I didn't get a chance to look up how close that part is to the books and stuff, but I do know that we are so far enough off the books at this point that it doesn't even matter. And that's the other problem that I have with the producers and what they're doing with the show. It's like they're giving us another Daenerys. I don't want to see another Daenerys. I wasn't a fan of Daenerys once I foresaw Daenerys becoming a mad woman seasons before anybody else did, and people still refuse to see it. I saw it seasons before other people did. It's just, they're doing the same thing with Rhaenyra, and I don't like it. Why do we want the same story? Give us something different. Give us what's in the books, because I'm not happy with anything right now.
He's like, this ain't it.
Yeah, no, this isn't it at all. It's not what I wanted to see. I think although the only thing that I think they're doing good is that they're showing the complete demise of House Targaryen, which is what ends up happening from dragons. So, but yeah, and there's also some I was looking at the family trees. There's also some family tree discrepancies that we'll have to resolve before the end of season 4 as well, in terms of who takes over after the Dance of the Dragons is over.
I'm waiting. I want to see how. I want to see how the downfall. I mean, I know it's like playing out, but I just can't wait to get to the end of it, of how it's all going to be the downfall of the House Targaryen, you know.
Well, now that this season's over, Pierce, you definitely should go watch the first season of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We'll do just a solo episode on that whole season, because that takes place between what we're watching on House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. So that's going to be that series is going to be a little bit of a bridge series between House of the Dragon and the actual Game of Thrones series. I can hear your kid in the background. It's okay, not a problem, dude. If you have to handle stuff or whatever, you can do that.
Nah, he's just playing around, watching a show.
If my nephew was here, he'd be bugging me to come on camera. So,
but yeah, now, how many episodes is it? Is it just like a single season? Is it like 6, 7 episodes?
It's only one season so far. It's 8 episodes. Game of Thrones seems to like their universal 8 episode seasons, I guess. I don't really get it, because there's a lot more stuff they could do, but yeah. Right. It's only 8 episodes, so we won't do it like next week or anything. We'll wait until you get to see it, and then we'll do an episode on A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. But that also bridges the gap a little bit in terms of time. Night of the Seven Kingdoms take place after the Targaryens have given up the dragons, and Dance of the Dragons is the lead up to the demise or almost demise of the Targaryen family, which you could actually see a little bit they are doing good with some of the continuity, because in Night of the Seven Kingdoms you can see the Targaryen family is very thin.
Right.
And they've had to make alliances with other strong houses in order to secure continue to secure their rule.
Okay.
So that is pretty cool that they do that there is some of that continuity they're still doing. But yeah, they're definitely doing things off the book. We're off the book big time. So Aemond, let's talk about Aemond, unless you got something else.
No, I'm good. No.
Aemond's healing still at Harrenhal. We hear about Alice, and we don't know the specifics yet, but somehow she might be over 100 years old.
Yeah, she, telling you, man. I mean, she's the witch stuff, and I'm telling you, the necklace, the owl necklace.
Yeah, that's interesting, because in Game of Thrones, there's a necklace by a fire priestess, and late in the season, I'm the spoiler alert. Maybe I shouldn't tell you this. Anyway, the necklace and with the witches is not new.
I've seen Game of Thrones.
Okay. So then you remember the red woman?
Like it's been like.
Well, do you remember at the end of the series? Do you remember at the end of the series she takes the necklace off one evening when she thinks she actually doesn't have any power, and then she turns into this old woman? She also
have to look it back up.
She also hints at it a couple times when she's talking to Lord Virus about how she's been on the world many lifetimes or whatever. So we know that she's like hundreds of years old. So we know that there's some kind of magic or something in the universe that can, prevent you from aging or whatever, or at least in a sense.
Right.
And so that's interesting. But well, now we know why Alice wants Harrenhal, so we know now what her true motive is. She literally just wants the castle, and she doesn't want to be alone. I guess we could take that from the conversation too. I guess, right?
I have a theory.
All right.
Okay, I will. Before that, I will say that I don't like how Aemon was portrayed in this episode.
Oh, really?
I think they portrayed him like a little wuss.
I think he's defeated.
Get on your knee. Get on. Is he?
I think the stab wound. I think him almost dying and Alice being the one that saved his life showed that he's not as invincible as he thinks he is. And yeah, I think he's been defeated this whole time.
What if he's still conniving?
It's possible.
What if he's acting like this?
Oh, I definitely see. I don't know if he's acting like it, but I definitely see him turning back into the old Aemon. I think just right now he's defeated. Not that he's like totally defeated, just that right now he's defeated, and that's why he's like took the knee to Aegon and pleaded for his life. Because I think right now he is defeated. He's been in Harrenhal for, we can assume, weeks.
Right.
At this point, no one knows where Vhagar is. No one has seen him. He's basically MIA. So the war is still unfolding. They're not getting ravens because Harrenhal is a ruin and a ghost town. So because it keeps getting burned by dragons, so no one wants to live there. So it's I think he's actually defeated at this point. Now I don't think he's going to stay defeated. I think him and Alice.
I think they're going to.
I think him and Alice will start. Yeah, I think him and Alice will start drawing off of each other and get stronger from each other. And I don't know if he'll turn on Aegon again, but I could definitely see him turning back into the Aemon of old at the very least. If both Aemon and Aegon are smart, they will stick together. That's what they need to do because Aegon thinks Darren's against him too.
Right.
It's like all these Targaryens, your siblings, the sibling relationship or sibling bond means nothing. Like Rhaenyra didn't grow up with some of the other kids, right? And I get Darren went away to live in Old Town with the Hightowers, but they're still your family, so there's like no loyalty there at all, and they don't even know each other. That's what's worse. Like they can't. Like he wants to go kill Darren. He doesn't even know. Like I said, Darren could bend the knee to Aegon or Rhaenyra. He doesn't seem like he wants the crown. It seems like Ormond was the one who wanted him to have the crown.
Right.
So, all these people want to kill. I feel bad. I think, you know what? I'm on the side of Darren at this point. Darren's
the only one wanting to be like, why do we have to do all this? Like, can't we just figure this out?
Yeah. Do we have to put kids on the front line?
That I ain't gonna lie. That was messed up. And I was like, Chibs, bro.
Oh yeah, that one.
Why did you do that?
And Daemon burning the gate.
Yep, Daemon too.
Too brave.
I don't think them two.
Kids.
Well, I don't think those kids died though, because I
think all the kids ran away, but 2 kids.
But then if you look very closely, it looks like the kids decided to finally run right at the last second, and they got into that little crevice doorway area.
Maybe. All right,
I don't know because it really wasn't a good view.
Yeah, I'll look again when I rewatch it, but I'm thinking that Daemon took out some kids.
But Daemon even having the thought being like, oh well, screw it, kids. Yeah. I was like, man, guys, come on, bro. Are we really to the point where we don't care that we're just gonna slaughter kids?
Lord Roderick, yeah, that was hardcore by Roderick. Like Daemon, I get it. He told them to move.
Yeah.
He gave them every opportunity to run away. If they didn't, he was still going through the gate. He wasn't going to stop for those kids. Daemon's not like that. When they sent the kids out of the gate, I was relieved when Daemon told them to run away and to clear out. I thought he was just going to go.
Yeah.
I thought he was just going to say Dracarys. Correct.
Eh.
Yeah. I thought he was going to be like, well, I don't care. Dracarys.
Yeah.
Just burn away. So I was relieved when he at least said,
See,
you
that
gotta
was-
move. You got to get out of the way. Move.
Yeah, that was the complete opposite. And like, I thought Chips was, him being a little older, and and him just it was one kid hitting him in the leg with a stick, bro.
I know. Yeah, that was a little.
I was like,
That was hardcore.
I was like, Chips.
That was hardcore. I'm not gonna lie, that was hardcore. Especially because like the kid didn't like if he'd have tried to stab him.
Yeah, that's
or,
something.
or something. But yeah, he
stick.
basically hit him in the leg with a stick, and then he went. I was
But,
like,
like,
whoa, dang, yo.
But you did see
Roderick.
he did kind of pause for a second and was like, really, like why?
Yeah, true.
And he was enraged. He was on a warpath, but for that split second, I also think like he was like, bro, really, like, come on. But at the same time, he did it because I feel like he also knew if somebody else gets his hands on him, they're probably going to do worse than what he did.
Maybe.
I mean, what he did was instant.
And he did attack him. He could have been thinking, well, this time it was a stick. What if next time it's a sword or a knife? That's, I mean, like you said, when you're in the rage of battle. I've never served. I'm not served in the military, so I've never served in a combat situation. So I can only imagine.
Right.
And I imagine that for sword fighting and axes and shields and swords, it's a little different. So, but yeah, that was a little hardcore too. Yes, not gonna lie, that was definitely, it was so weird to see that scene and then to see what he did to Lord Ormond Hightower.
Yeah,
was like such a really, dude, Roderick, come on, man, and you're like, yes, Roderick,
yeah, it's like, yeah, it was very satisfying.
It was weird to be kind of like, yo, dude, whoa, and then immediately being like, yes,
Yeah,
give him that proper.
Oh man, that shield busted him and him and his mouth had to hurt. I mean, he knocked his whole front teeth out.
Oh man, that was, dude, Lord Ormond. I credit Lord Ormond, dude, man. He certainly had his problems and his issues, absolutely, dude. But he still was out there fighting. He was still out there, slaughtering people. And then I thought it was so hilarious that he chopped the arm off and the blood went up in his face. And actually, and that's what cost him the fight.
Yeah,
him not being able to handle that degree of nastiness or smell or whatever it was that actually.
Yeah, but you see back in, I think it was season.
Yeah,
it was season 2. Me and you called it like that. Him having that issue is going to be his downfall.
Yeah. In the episode when the battle was actually, it was earlier in season 3 when they were all fighting. He was throwing up afterwards.
Yeah,
different time.
It was that. But when I found out, really, we made a connection with it whenever Rhaenyra was talking with her. I don't know if you can see. Where is my finger? Next to Aemon on my background. I can't remember her name.
Alicent.
Yeah, them two were talking, and she told Rhaenyra that he has a very acute sense of smell.
Yeah,
and that's why he smelled that. That it's like those little smelling salts, whatever he had. That's why he would smell them all the time.
I do remember that because we also talked about how that was because I think you had wondered why did she even share that, and I had said, well, because it is a weakness. Whatever it is a weakness, and we didn't. I don't think you or I realized the degree of weakness that it actually was until later.
Got him killed.
Clearly, that's a weakness, serious, big weakness. Like that, like she was right to say that. Like that's an absolute something you could use against him. Absolutely, if you had that information.
I like how they kept the continuity with that when they decided to end him.
Yeah,
because it was like, why even mention it if you wasn't gonna? See, that's what my thought was the whole time. I was just like, that's why I brought it up. I was just like, well, why even mention it if you're not going to have him go out like that in some sort of fashion?
Yeah, that was a little foreshadowing there. Absolutely. And then of course they both got burned by the dragons. Sir Roderick obviously was, like I said, the Northerners, they were coming to die for the Dragon Queen. So that's what they were doing, whatever it was. That's, so he was laughing the whole time as the dragon was coming in, and Lord Ormond, who was having a really bad day already.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he was very. I kind of was like, I kind of got hyped for what'd you say his name was again? Roderick. Yeah, I was hyped for Roderick, bro, because like I knew he wasn't gonna make it. I mean, dude got stabbed completely through the chest and then got his whole arm chopped off, and he was gonna bleed out either way. But
I was hoping, that's what I was hoping for. I'm like, please take Sir Ormond before you go. Especially when I saw him take the sword through. I'm like, oh man, you got it.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so you're not getting away from this, but please take Ormond.
I was so happy because he was standing there like, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It was great to see him get the send off that he wanted.
Yes.
But you don't get to see very often in Game of Thrones. Of course, there's not that many characters who are saying yes when a dragon's coming to burn you alive. There's very few characters actually.
And I'm not going to say Jace. I feel like going back to there talking about death. I feel like Jace. I don't know. I feel like he could have I don't know. I kind of feel like his death could have been more meaningful. I
think that's a big influencer to who Rhaenyra is now. I think her son was one of them. Listen, when she started the council and we were all on Team Black, I figured out that it was because she would listen to Lord Corlys. She would listen to her son, Jace. She would listen to the queen who never was, Lord Corlys's wife. She would listen to Lord Corlys's granddaughters, Daemon's daughters,
right,
and treated them like family. She treated all of them and listened to them. And then somewhere along the way, she decided that she was done listening to people because she had to do it herself because she has to prove something as a woman, which I think is I think that is a real excellent addition to the show. I think they like the fact that she feels she always needs to prove herself because she's a woman.
Right.
It's also her greatest weakness because how many kings don't know how? There's been plenty of kings and rulers who aren't the best sword fighters. Who you can't tell me Viserys was the greatest swordsman who ever was, right?
Right.
So you don't need to be a great warrior to be a great ruler.
I agree with that. I agree with that. It's like I'll add on to what you said about her feeling the need to prove herself. It's like, brother, you don't have to do this stuff to prove yourself. If you've done the right thing, the people would have followed, and they would have seen you from what you've done, how you've been treating people. Now all they see is you came in. Yeah, you came in and just completely destroyed everything.
Yeah, killed all the Septons because they wouldn't ordain you. And then standing before the masses, declaring yourself the prince that was promised. That's what I'm saying. Her arrogance is so overwhelming. She got rid of Lady, what's her name? Massario, I think her name is.
Yeah.
She got rid of her, kicked her right out the city, bro.
Yeah, because she came walking back up in the crowd. Was that right at the end of it?
Yeah. She didn't leave.
Yeah, she had the blue hood up, and she was like,
Of course, she didn't learn anything in her time because she still dressed like a rich person. Again, there's another production error.
Yeah,
is that intentional or is that just a mistake by the production team? Why?
Maybe
she's gonna hide in the finest clothes that she's ever had in her life among people who don't even have that nice of clothing. She's gonna stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, but is it a metaphor that they're going for? Everybody else is around her looks normal, but she's sticking out as a sore thumb because it's the very, very almost. It's like it's the first scene of the very end of the episode before
you're right.
Black.
The closing scene. Yeah, you might be right.
I'm picking up the metaphor that it's because when she comes up, your attention goes to her. And you're like, okay, well, if she's trying to hide, why is she doing that? Okay, is the metaphors that she's gonna be a bigger role in next season somehow.
Oh, she's definitely gonna. That's what I'm saying. Listen, between Damon and I'm going to include Damon in this because Alice Rivers wanted Harrenhal. When the war, she just said, when the war is over, give me Harrenhal. I'll serve you, whatever. Just give me Harrenhal. That's all she wanted was Harrenhal. That's all Damon had to do was give her Harrenhal. He didn't do that. Rhaenyra, all she had to do was give Lord Corlys' son's legitimacy, right? Okay. All she had to do was not sleep with your Mistress of Whispers, right? Okay. Because I do agree that her casting her out she didn't need to cast her out the way she did. Again, don't sleep with your Mistress of Whispers. I didn't like that they were having a little fling. I thought that was not good, and it was also disrespectful to Damon, especially because also in the books, everybody, little side note here for in the books, Damon and Rhaenyra in the books are completely 100% dedicated to each other. They have 100% trust and loyalty. There's never any there's never any of what we saw in the show between Damon and Rhaenyra. Damon didn't need to be brought to the light during his time at Harrenhal. They never wavered from each other ever. Okay. They were loyal in the books. Okay. So that's number one thing that I didn't like about the whole thing anyway, because that is so far off books. You're changing characters. I don't like when you change who a character is when it has source material available. That relationship wasn't needed. The producers and HBO and stuff put that in there to attract more viewers so that they could get some HLA. Anybody from 1990s wrestling knows what that stands for. So, like that's why they did that. So there's no reason to put that in there anyway. But back to the episode itself and inside the story, that's a huge mistake from Rhaenyra. Casting her out is a huge mistake. You know how powerful she is. Why would you do that? That's just stupid. Again, don't sleep with your Mistress of Whispers, and then you probably wouldn't need to feel. Then you probably wouldn't feel manipulated.
Yeah.
When she talks to you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe keep it in your pants, Rhaenyra. I mean, so, I didn't like that. I think that's a huge mistake. Lord Corlys was a mistake. Damon not letting Alice Rivers even being considered. Like I said in that episode, I don't even think he didn't even have to say, yeah, you can have it. He could have just said, well, let's talk about it with Queen Rhaenyra. We'll have a conversation about it. That's all that she wanted to have. Right. And she would have stayed loyal now. And if he would have done that, Aemon would be dead because she wouldn't have saved him. So, like, that's what I'm saying. They're their own worst enemies right now. They're making their own critical mistakes. And all of it comes from bad place. It comes from a place of not trusting your own advisors and the people who are loyal to you. Like, not legitimize. There is no reason. I'm sorry, dude. You let me know if you think otherwise. There's no reason Lord Corlys's kids should not have been legitimized by her. That in no way threatens her reign at all.
Right.
So I don't get it.
I want to bring something else up. Did you notice Corlys' son's face whenever he killed the priest?
Yes. Oh yeah, he definitely thought about it twice. But then afterwards, he had the same look on his face when he met the Valyrian men who rode up on the shore. Did you see that? He had the same face. He was already replacing his dad.
Right.
He was already stepping up and saying, now whether or not I don't know that he's like not worried about his dad. I'm not saying that. But I think in that act, he found this hardness that I don't know what you were going to say about it, but I don't know if it's going to be good for him or not. Because the way he talked to his men, he was just kind of like, I'm the heir apparent. I am the next in line. You're going to listen to me. We're not going to go after dad. You're going to do what I say. And we're going to secure the city. Like he was hard when he talked to those men. He was not shy. He was not reserved. He was giving commands when those other Valyrian sailors rode up. And I think it comes from what he did in the Sept. Not from a good place. That's terrible. It's terrible what he did.
Right.
But I think it put him into a place now where he's not the same person.
I believe that his character for himself has reached a point where I kind of okay. So, if we're gonna make like a comparison, I'll do a little Star Wars comparison real quick between him, his character, and Anakin. And if you notice, every time, when a good scene when Anakin takes out Dooku, and he's sitting there when he does it, and before he does it,
Yeah.
if you pay attention to his face, he's constantly questioning himself.
Yeah.
Now look at this scene with Corliss's son after he did it. He has the same exact expression. I think he's at a point to where he is constantly questioning everything he's doing now.
Interesting. I see the opposite. I think he's more for now. I'm not sure. Well, maybe you're seeing something I don't, but I don't know that he's confident, but he's at least saying it with confidence. He's got a different type of confidence. He's not shy and reserved and looking down. He's looking men in the face,
Right?
Giving commands.
Yes, but the reason I say that is like, yes, I think he's doing what he is needing to do.
But you don't think it's you think it's just.
But I don't think he's fully agreeing with it. I think he's internally struggling with it, but he is doing what he needs to be done, like Anakin.
Yeah,
what Palpatine tells him, he's like, do what needs to be done. He didn't want to kill the younglings and everything. So like whenever he kills all the younglings and then it switches to Mustafar and he's crying. He didn't want to do any of that, but he has to do what he has to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
what I'm seeing. I see that little correlation going on.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. We'll have to wait and see how that develops in season 4. There's only one more season to go. We knew it was only going to be 4 seasons, so season 4 is going to be the final season of the House of the Dragon. I believe that the Night of the Seven Kingdoms is also supposed to go 4 seasons. I think so. We still have that. And of course, there is heavy rumors that Aegon's Conquest, HBO is going to make Aegon's Conquest into a movie. I don't know how I feel about that. I think you should just stop doing these short little seasons and give us a real series for a change. And I think Aegon's Conquest would be a perfect one to do that with. Get off this Game of Thrones House of the Dragon 8 episodes a season. Get completely off the books and ignore everything that's happened. I think, if anything, you could use Aegon's Conquest as a way to reboot the whole franchise if you felt you needed to.
Right.
Because they messed up so much stuff in Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon at this point. I think that's ultimately was what will lead to the demise of the Game of Thrones franchise. I think Aegon's Conquest, I think if we get anything after Aegon's Conquest, we'll be lucky. I like it, but it's so far off the books, and a lot of people have a problem with that, and they don't like some of the way things have unfolded. I haven't looked up the House of the Dragon viewership, so I don't know how that's going. I know a lot of people like the Night of the Seven Kingdoms so far, so they still have that, but they just keep going so far off the source material. It's just that's what I don't understand. That's what people want. We want to see what's in the books. We just want to see it live. We want to see it with people. We don't want to read it. We want to see it unfold in front of us. So
with that show, I agree with you. I don't think they would be able to do it in a movie format because at the most, it
would be too short. Even a 3-hour movie is not enough for Aegon's Conquest. With how they tell stories, I just don't see how they're going to fit it in. I think it's going to feel short and rushed.
If I was doing the show, if I was going to do it in a show format, I would definitely try to shoot it at least for like 10 or 11 episodes. Make them give us a few more episodes. Make each episode like an hour long.
There's no reason they couldn't do 12. There's no reason they couldn't do 12 or 15, 16 episodes in a season if they wanted to do that. There's no reason they can't. I know it's a lot of production and stuff. I'm not really sure how they make money off of Game of Thrones. If it's just off membership fees, that whole thing, I'm not totally 100% clear on all that. But I don't know. I think longer seasons is the biggest thing. And you don't even need that much production because then you can do more story.
Well, yeah. look at Walking Dead's success.
I'm not a
You
fan
know,
of.
I love Walking Dead.
I liked early Walking Dead. I got completely turned off after they left the prison. But we'll save that. We'll do an episode on that too, since you're a Walking Dead fan, because I've wanted to do some zombie episodes as well. So
Right. But I say I don't see why they don't look at that and look at the episode length stuff, how they did it. Yeah, they started off with like eight episodes, whatever. But then they started going into like 16 episodes, 15 episodes and stuff like that. And everybody was loving it because it stayed consistent. It kept people coming back.
yeah. I think 8 episodes is only 2 months. You got this huge show that you're only utilizing for 2 months out of the year. It doesn't make any sense to me. But that's HBO. They do a lot of stuff that doesn't really make sense to me. I wanted an Entourage movie for a long time, and then when they gave me one, I thought it was crap. I prefer the end of the series, not the end of the movie. So same with Deadwood. I think Deadwood was just a 2-hour episode. It wasn't a movie. It was just a 2-hour episode. So HBO is not really the only really real success they've had at the box office has really been Sex in the City. Let's be honest. That's really the only thing that they've actually had that's been successful in the box office.
Now, I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently HBO is wanting to make a animated series of The Walking Dead, but it's strictly following every bit of the comics.
HBO would be the place to do it. That's interesting. A lot of what they want to do and what they're going to be doing is going to have to start going through Paramount because they've merged. So the sale's gone through, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just going to be a matter of time before Paramount and HBO are the same thing. We're watching whether it's Paramount or it'll probably go under Paramount. Paramount would be the parent company, the bigger one. So who knows what's going to happen with it? Paramount does some good shows. All right.
Yeah,
So,
I wasn't happy with the Halo show though.
No, let's not talk about that. That's an abomination. But the Yellowstone universe is quite amazing, and Landman is also really good. Now, all of them are Taylor Sheridan shows, so maybe it's only Taylor Sheridan. But even if that's the case, at least Paramount will give money and give freedom to the people who make these good shows, as long as they're made good. So who knows? Maybe in the end it'll end up being better.
Yeah.
I didn't think Marvel being bought by Disney was going to be a great thing for the universe. Turns out, even though they've made not some good movies, it's been good for the universe. We've gotten series now, and they're starting to branch off. So it could be good. It could be for the better. We'll have to see. Like I said, Paramount Plus does some good shows. Halo not being one of them. And we will accept your hate in the comment section for anybody who does like the Halo section.
Oh yeah, totally acceptable.
We will accept your hate, so go ahead and give it. But so that's I think we're going to end. That's where we're going to end After the Dragon season 3. Don't call it season 2 this time.
Yeah, season 3.
Season 3. Even though the title says season 2, I'm going to have to go in and change all that stuff. It's just more work for me to do, and that's wonderful. But season 3 of House of the Dragon is in the books. I'm not happy about Off the Books. I am enjoying the series, and I am excited to see where season 4 is going to go and how that can lead us into the Night of the Seven Kingdoms series and where that series is going to go. So we still have some Game of Thrones stuff coming up, and we'll do an episode on A Night of the Seven Kingdoms here in a couple of weeks once Theorist has a chance to watch through the first season.
Yeah.
He doesn't have all day. He can't just binge watch it in a day. So we will give him a couple of weeks to watch all 8 episodes. And I don't think we should, we're not going to do an after show for them. I thought about where we could pick a day, watch the series, and then plan to do an episode. I don't know that we need to do that. After you start watching them, if you think we do, then let me know. I'm open to it, but I don't think that's not necessarily what I'm planning. I think just an episode to talk about the whole season would be fine.
Yeah.
We also have lots of other content coming up. Of course, our MCU universe for Mayhem Media. The MCU universe is going to be coming out. Football is getting ready to start next week, next Saturday. While there is no more House of the Dragon, look for us to do a potential NFL football watch along. Do you like football, Theorist?
Yes, sir. My
NFL?
boys are the Steelers.
All right, well, I can't talk to you now, so you're fired. So Theorist is fired. You won't see him next season for After the Dragon. No, but seriously, because Wolfman, I talked to Wolfman, though he's not really sure about it. I don't know if he's venturing into football yet. I've gotten him into other stuff, and I'm happy with that. So I'm not going to push him into football. But I am next Saturday. I'm planning to do a watch along for the Eagles game at I think it's next Saturday evening. So I'll hit you up and let you know. Keep you posted on that if you'd like to join me.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
we got NFL. I'm going to be doing lots of watch alongs. If you join anything for Mayhem Media, if you join us for a watch along, what I recommend is you tune in us if you're not watching it. If you're watching the game on television, then you got one of two options: either to watch the game or hit the mute button and then use our commentary as the watch along. But the problem with that is not everything is going to line up. So what I encourage everybody to do for our watch alongs is if you are not able to watch it on TV, tune into us and treat it like a radio broadcast. That's what I tell everybody for our watch alongs. That is what makes the most sense. If you're able to sit and watch the game, sit and watch it. If you like our commentary better, then try. You can tune into us, but it's going to be you're not going to just get it all to line up. That's what we found has been the biggest problems is getting what we're calling and the action to line up, right, for everybody. Because everybody's always a couple of seconds behind. No one's ever seeing it all at the same exact time. So the only way to treat it, I think, is as a radio broadcast. So if you can't tune in next week, or if you just want to tune in to hear us talk, do that. We appreciate any listeners. We want to do more football content this year. And of course, October is going to be coming up in about 45 days or so. And you guys all our viewers know that we do a whole month-long thing for Halloween. So we got a whole fall, and we're already planning into the winter. And next week also, is it next week? I have to bring my calendar up. Stay tuned, but we have some independent wrestlers coming up in the next 2 weeks. In the next 2 weeks, Brock's Boulder and Titan Troy are going to be coming back. Grappling Inc. I believe is their tag team name. Sorry about that, guys. But they're going to be coming on another episode, so we have a whole bunch of content going, and now we're already planning into the winter. So stay tuned to Mayhem Media. We got a whole lot of stuff to go. Tune into Jedi Theorist. He's starting to get into his content and start building his channels and stuff up. So make sure you go check him out. It's not in the description of this video at the time that we're shooting this, but I will get his information together and then put it in the description so that way you can find him as well. Just search him on YouTube. YouTube, right? Or where else are you?
Right now, it's just YouTube.
So right now, just YouTube. Search Jedi Theorist. You can find him and make sure you tell him that Mayhem Media sent you. Visit the storefront, bonfire.com/store/Mayhem Media Shop. And until next time, for Jedi Theorists, until the next time he joins me for something, whether it's MCU or the next show that we're planning, I am your host, the bad guy, JD, and that's the end.